Now, gentlemen, we went over the rules in the dressing room. I want to caution you to keep this fight clean at all times, protect yourself at all times, and what I say you must obey. Good luck. Touch him up.
We've already seen one great champion suck it up one last time and prove that he had one more great fight left in him. Jorge Arce. Can Sugar Shane Mosley do the same and upset the odds and the world's greatest fighter here now in this main event?
And I think we'll have, as you look at Jinky, the wife, of course, of Manny Pacquiao, I think we'll know the answer to that, honestly, in about 15 minutes. Most people feel if Shane Mosley is going to have a chance, it has to be early. And here we go. All that friendship, all that what a pal stuff that went on for the last 3 or 4 months is now out the window, at least for the next hour.
Pacquiao in yellow gloves. He wore a yellow t-shirt in, all of his team in yellow, stressing unity in the Philippines as they fight poverty. And the fans will be unified here for him pretty much tonight. Although Mosley will have a significant contingent.
Yeah, I think he will. He did certainly have to weigh in, if that's any idea. And the crowd, of course, will react every time Pacquiao throws a punch.
I expect Pacquiao to box a little more, Barry, than he has in some of his past fights tonight.
Slipped the left hand in, but don't be fooled by the reaction of the crowd. It's going to be greater sometimes than the power of the punch, perhaps.
Mosley has a very powerful right hand. He'll be looking to catch Manny on the way in if he can. Mosley has excellent hand speed and can almost match Pacquiao in terms of hand speed, at least in the early rounds. We know that Pacquiao carries that hand speed into the later rounds. At the age of 39, though, that's a concern for Mosley.
Feeling out round here this first round. Mosley misses with a right hand. Pacquiao misses with a right hand, but scores to the left of the stomach.
Pacquiao will punch from unusual angles. We haven't seen it yet, but he will. A lot of times he will punch and then slide to the side. He likes to move and turn his opponents if he can.
That right hand of Mosley's was caught on the arm of Pacquiao. Pacquiao, no nonsense shot to the chest.
It was a beautiful body blow by Manny. And Mosley answers back. He's got to answer back here tonight. He cannot let Pacquiao build up momentum.
No, and that's what happened with Margarito when Pacquiao fought him. I mean, he just wore him down and busted him up as the fight went on.
Not only are the colors of the gloves different, but they're actually different brands of gloves.
That shot was caught on the gloves for the most part.
Mosley trying to find an opening for that right hand, Barry.
Pacquiao misses a short left. A lot of missing in this first round.
He wants to get Pac-Man moving to his left, to Pacquiao's left, and move him right into the direction of the right hand.
Well, an interesting first round. Not a lot of action. I think both men kind of seeing what the other would do. I gave that round to Pacquiao on the weight of those body shots.
Huh? Okay, good. Okay, but one way lang siya, huh? One way lang siya.
Keep making them investments to his body. Keep touching him. Every chance you get, touch him under there. You'll see when it's time to drop the real shot in there. But it's behind that stick chain and it's that angle. You see him loading up for that loop hook. As soon as you turn him, you can't get it off. You know what I mean? Working behind your stick, bending your knees. I don't want you to talk. Bend your knees. Just bend your knees.
All right, Shane will be looking for the right hand tonight. He got it. He got an opening there for it, Barry, and drove it right down the middle, right between the gloves of Pacquiao. That's what he's looking for here tonight.
Okay, second down. Let's go, man.
Pacquiao, you see, very spiritual, man. He prays every day in the morning and at night. Yesterday before the weigh-in, he took off his beads, kissed the crucifix, crossed himself, and you saw him cross himself just before he came out here for round number 2.
Yep. Also in the corners of each of these men, two of the best trainers in America, in fact, in the world right now. Freddie Roach, of course, who announced he would be working with the United States Olympic team.
They were actually, Nassim was asking Mosley to move and turn Pacquiao, which I know is a Pacquiao strategy to do to Mosley here tonight.
Also wants him to bend his knees, don't stand tall. Pacquiao fighting a much more cautious fight tonight, at least through the first 4 minutes of the fight. That was caught in the gloves.
Mosley here, at least for the moment, allowing Pacquiao to initiate the action. He might be wanting to bring Manny to him, actually. Might be trying to set a trap for him here if he can, Barry. He'd love to exchange with Manny.
Manny doesn't seem too anxious to do that. Manny clearly trying to work the body. And a combination, nice one by Mosley. And there's Pacquiao with his best punch of the fight. A left hand that got between the gloves of Mosley. Good body shot by Pacquiao.
Interesting. This is a strategy that not a lot of people talked about coming in. Pacquiao really centering a lot of his attack on the body of Mosley. Maybe thinking that he's got a 39-year-old guy in front of him, a clash of heads there. And
second time.
Kenny Bayless looks at the two of them to make sure there's nobody bleeding.
And that's good. You'd hate to see the fight marred by that. Pacquiao continues to try to work the body. A little short with that left hand. Mosley obviously with great respect for the power of Pacquiao, because every time Pacquiao throws a punch, Mosley steps back. And the chant again goes up, Manny, Manny.
Shane really needs to get that jab out better than just a probing jab. Can't just pity pat with it.
Mosley getting outworked here in the second round. Said to him, keep the pace up, wear him out.
So Mosley's going to have to put a stop to that, Baron. He's going to have to start getting off a little bit offensively.
I think Manny just he's very deceptive of how he defends. He gives you odd angles, a lot of shoulder, a lot of elbow, a lot of glove.
Well, as even Nassim Richardson, the trainer of Mosley, said yesterday, oh, the nice right there by Mosley.
It was, but he took a left from Pacquiao also.
Manny, he said Manny's a very special athlete, and it's difficult to train for him because he does give you so many weird looks in the ring.
And again, a headbutt. Really tell Pacquiao trying to heed what Freddie Roach said and pace up here in this third round.
And he's doing now, beginning to do a little bit of what he did against fighters that he's dominated over the long haul. With Oscar De La Hoya, it kind of started slow, picks up more in the second round, a little more in the third, a little more in the fourth. Same with Margarito. He likes to ratchet it up, Barry, and ratchet up his advantage with every round. Mosley, he just needs to answer. He's going to have to start throwing that bomb of his. He's on the defensive.
Well, he is, and Pacquiao left hand drops it. Right on the button, and it caught him going a little sideways.
A most unusual sight. Vernon Forrest knocked him down in the second round of their fight long ago, but you never see Shane Mosley on the canvas.
I think he got a little off balance. It was a good punch.
he's in some trouble, and he had a strange look at his corner when he was down. Like, what was that, guys?
Yeah, and he's trying to get some life in his legs here. Another left hand on the top of the head. Pacquiao just stalking him. Those missed.
Barry, I've seen so many fighters say they never realized what it would be like to fight Pacquiao until they got in with him. They couldn't realize he would be that fast. They couldn't realize the angles that he would give you. Many have said it's like fighting 3 guys in the ring.
Yeah, you got to find him. And he does have a lot of pop. I mean, I realize he's a smaller guy, but that was a heck of a shot.
A very deep breath for Shane Mosley as he goes back to his corner. Let's take a look at it, Barry. There's the left-hand side of the chin. Mosley went down very awkwardly. And he stayed in that position for a couple of seconds. There's the left hand, down goes Shane. Real knockdown. And look at the look on his face. What was that just happened to me?
Yeah, dazed almost.
That's what I'm talking about right there. Look at that look he gives to his corner. The look of a man who didn't know what just hit him.
Pag-ikot niya, bagsak huli.
This is round 4, and Shane Mosley is going to have to find something.
And he needs to find it quick, Barry, or he's just going to be completely dominated. In my opinion, he has been dominated so far in this fight. And with Pacquiao just getting a little bit more of an advantage with each succeeding minute. And I think most of us felt that Mosley would be dangerous for at least the first 4, 5, 6 rounds. But that has not been the case so far.
He's just not able to find Manny. I mean, it looks like he wants to throw a punch, but you can't find him.
Mosley is the man on the defense.
And has been from the opening bell. And now he's felt the power of Manny Pacquiao. That buckled his legs again. And that's not going to be a knockdown, but I'll tell you what, his legs buckled.
And that means, to me again, that Mosley's legs just are not completely there. Pacquiao coming off a fantastic training camp. Said to be in better condition and going better than he's ever been.
Oh, he was a right hand by Mosley.
Finally it happened. That right hand, he ran into it. Pacquiao getting a little reckless, I think, because it had been so easy to this point for him.
And right back comes Pacquiao. Pacquiao is stalking, sticking the jab out.
Yeah, and I think he's jabbing a little better than he gets credit for, too, tonight. Now Mosley trying to get his own jab to work.
Not a bad idea.
I think Shane understands he's got to get something going here.
Body shot again, and you saw, as soon as he hit Mosley with that body shot, Mosley's left hand came down.
Constant stream of yelling from the corner of Mosley.
And remember Nazim Richardson saying, got to bend your knees. Mosley is not bending his knees. Those are mostly caught on the gloves.
Caught on the gloves, but a good combination insofar as putting something together, Barry.
It was. Left hand from Pacquiao.
Maybe Mosley finding a little bit of rhythm there. Getting his own jab going here as well, but losing the round nonetheless.
Yes, another left hand from Pacquiao.
Kenny Bayless waiting for everybody to get out the ring before he allows the fighters to continue.
This is round 5, a fight that has been dominated by Manny Pacquiao thus far.
I saw a couple of moments of hope for Mosley in the previous round, Barry, but mainly the fight. He has looked like a 39-year-old fighter here so far. But Manny Pacquiao has a way of making a lot of guys look like that.
Well, he does. Although he has not set a frenetic pace.
No. A fast pace, but not frenetic.
Right.
You're right.
And in most of his recent fights, he has set that kind of pace. Certainly against Cloudy, certainly against Margarito.
Another headbutt.
Wow, there've been a lot of them. Fortunately, nobody's been cut.
Pacquiao will try to throw unusual punches. The way he throws that is that right jab sometimes. He's almost backhanding it as he throws it.
Yeah, he
out
does.
there. But it is a legal punch, barely.
There you saw him duck down, go to the body, and then come up with a left hand to the head.
So you prepare defensively to block a body punch, and that's when he's going to the head. That's that unusual punching out of angles that he gives you.
Right to the body by Mosley.
Mosley trying to work his way into the fight. Pacquiao talking to him a little bit. I don't know that I've seen that before.
I've never seen Manny do that. Again, nothing big from Manny Pacquiao, but he does have Mosley going backward for the most part. There's a left hand, and a right hand behind it.
He's up high in the head. Shane, so far, at least in this round, is taking these punches better, it looks like.
Yeah.
It's actually a shocking sight to see him down on that canvas.
That hadn't happened much, huh? They have something to say to each other again, but it was not hostile. Left of the body behind it by Pacquiao. Mosley again going backward.
Shane not getting off at all.
No.
He's in a backwards mode right here. He's got a punch. He's going to have to let it go. Corner. It's been worse. It's been a lot worse though. In the first few big fights that Manny fought here in Las Vegas, it was somewhat chaotic over there. But Freddie did a pretty good job of clearing that up.
Yes, he did. Mosley trying to work the jab here.
Pacquiao, not an easy guy to jab. He's got that left hand out in front, plus he gives you that side-to-side upper body movement too.
Mosley moving to his left. And it'll be interesting to see if Pacquiao doesn't take a step to the right and try to crank that right hand at some point.
I thought Mosley would be more the aggressor tonight. I'm a little surprised by that. Pacquiao building up momentum now. This looks like he's going for the gusto here now in round 6.
Yeah, a lot of those punches are being caught at least partially on the gloves, but it's a question of how many punches.
Shane Mosley told us yesterday, I can't conceive, I can't figure out any way that he could beat me.
He might have been able to figure out a way then.
Shane said, I feel I have so many advantages. But you've got to check the pre-fight quotes of the guys who have fought Pacquiao and then their post-fight quotes.
Yeah, it's very different. He just gives you so many angles. I would have to think that's probably the biggest problem for an opponent. You know, you think you got him set up one way and he's giving you a different look.
I mean, there's reasons he's fighter of the decade. Smile out of Pacquiao there.
That right hand just missed. And he's very slowly starting to bust Mosley up.
And Shane is just too busy trying to defend himself to get anything off. I really feel that Mosley needs to be first. He was there.
But he got hit with the right hand.
Now there, Mosley succeeded in being able to turn Pac-Man, but he was unable to follow up on it. A little bit better work, I thought, by Mosley the last 30 seconds of the round.
But not enough.
Yours as it is for the fans when they attend these fights.
No, although I think Jinky looked pretty confident.
Well, she has reason to be confident. Naseem Richardson still feeling that Shane can pull this out and change the direction of the fight.
Well, I thought Naseem really made a very good point, a valid point. I don't know if anything can change, but he said after you got knocked down, you went into a defensive mode.
And he needed to be that way that round, Barry, and the round after, but he's got to realize this fight is just getting away from him to where he's not going to have a chance.
Well, it's getting pretty close to that right now. Meantime, Freddie Roach telling Manny Pacquiao, throw up the middle and throw combinations.
He wants speed. He doesn't feel Mosley can handle Manny's speed. Rare to hear some booing at a Pacquiao fight. He won't like that. He always says, I want to make the fans happy.
And again, Mosley's still going, moving left and moving backward and not really giving himself much of a chance. Now, I can see why he might want to move a little bit to his left and try to throw that left hook. Straight right hand.
Pacquiao trying to, a lot of times, Barry, make a move to get Mosley to move a particular way because he wants to throw a particular punch, but Mosley doesn't always go for it. So consequently, Manny doesn't throw that punch.
No, and in fact, Mosley is getting dangerously close to being a runner here. Right hand and a left hand underneath by Pacquiao.
That knockdown, Barry, in the third round, I'm sure was a very shocking event to Shane.
There was a straight left hand by Shane Mosley. Kind of a half jab, half hook. Right up the middle with a right hand. A good shot by Pacquiao. Here we go, round 8, and it has been pretty much the same story right from the opening bell.
Naseem Richardson pleading with Mosley to not just touch him and let him just have the rounds, but to put something on him.
Yeah, he said Pacquiao is stealing the fight. I'm not quite sure that's right.
But Shane is going to need to take some chances here, Barry. He can't fight in this mode. He's going to need to take some chances to get himself into a position where he at least even has some semblance of a chance.
Well, I think so, and we're in the 8th round now, and Pacquiao clearly, there's an uppercut from Mosley, but Pacquiao answers. And a left hand from Pacquiao.
You know, Manny likes to fight. I mean, there will be times when he gets hit and he'll bang his gloves together and he'll say, come on, let's fight. That's how he feels, and Mosley hasn't even given him that opportunity.
No, he hasn't. But I mean, Mosley is already in knockout mode. I would have to think he's going to have to get him because he's clearly lost the first 7 rounds, and one of them is a 10-8 round. So he can't, even at this juncture, win the fight by decision.
Pacquiao, all business in there, was really well prepared for this fight. In fact, Freddie Roach said, I didn't have to talk to him, because people were saying, oh, it's going to be an easy fight. He goes, I didn't have to talk to him about this as an easy fight. Pacquiao actually really has a healthy respect for Shane Mosley. He said he was different than others that he'd fought because of his experience and speed of hand.
Yeah, and he told us, he said, a distraction is only a distraction if you allow it to be one. You know, we were talking to him about all the things, like he's doing a concert tonight, just up the street at Mandalay Bay.
There are times when a fighter gets older and turns that corner, Barry, that he might see the opening, but he can't let the hands go.
There was a left hand that did slip in there on Pacquiao. Didn't seem to hurt him, though.
No side of the head. And Shane has not been getting off. Whether he's seeing something there and just doesn't have the reflexes to let it go, I don't know. But I don't want to take anything away from Pacquiao because he's the greatest fighter on the planet, and he turns a lot of guys into a shutout victim.
Exactly. I mean, he's doing everything he needs to do. I don't think you can rip on Pacquiao for what he's doing or not doing in this fight. I mean, best of my knowledge, boxing is hit and don't be hit, and that's what Pacquiao's doing.
And Naseem Richardson just wants some aggressiveness out of Mosley, which we have seen very little of tonight.
Not much. This is round 9. That's that sharp jab of Moses that we talked about early in the fight, but it's just kind of a rumor. Left hand again. One thing Pacquiao's not doing, he's not throwing a lot of combinations like Freddie Roach wants.
Mosley just trying to keep his hand out, keep it extended, and keep Pacquiao off of him.
Mosley threw the right hand, but it didn't have much intent. And again, a clash of heads. Now Pacquiao throwing in combination. I think he might have gotten Mosley's attention with that last one. Big left hand there dropped in on Mosley. Left to the body, left to the head by Pacquiao.
It was in this very ring here, Barry, that Manny Pacquiao last lost a fight. That was all the way back in 05, 6 years ago. And since then, with the exception of the Juan Manuel Marquez fight, he's rarely lost a round.
Yeah. I don't think you can make any case for Mosley winning any round in this fight. And he's starting to puff up a little bit too.
Bring him up, Shane.
Left to the body, left to the head, another left to the head.
Mosley cannot answer. He cannot offer any offense of his own. Pacquiao has him too busy defending himself. And that's what often happens.
Seems to fall on deaf ears, and again, as you said, it's the old thing of sometimes the mind writes a check that you're behind can't cash.
I really thought coming into this fight that Mosley would cause some uncomfortable moments for Manny Pacquiao tonight, and I don't think that's the case. I can't point to an uncomfortable moment for Pacquiao in the fight. He's dominated it. But then again, you can't be too surprised if you are among those, as I am, who think he's among the greatest of all time.
I'm not surprised, quite honestly, as to how this fight has gone, and you and I talked about it. I just feel like Mosley did not have another big fight in him. And I remember thinking when we sat across the table from him that he's a lovely guy, don't get me wrong. I really think the world of Shane Mosley, but he just looked like a tired fighter.
Pacquiao goes back to that side-to-side movement with the upper body movement. Never letting Mosley's jab get started.
That was a good right hand. Just kind of a push right hand. And now, I don't know what Mosley was saying. It was a headbutt there again. I didn't see one that time.
I think he was claiming it, but he did get hit a sharp right.
Yeah, he did. And there was a headbutt, we're told. There's a left hand. Mosley in wholesale retreat right now.
The one thing Freddie Roach guards against in the corner is sometimes Manny gets to such a level of dominance he starts feeling sorry for his opponents.
And that was, they're going to call that a knockdown.
Down goes Pacquiao.
I thought that was as much push as knockdown, and Manny did too. I did not feel that that was a knockdown. And all Manny can do is smile.
Freddie Roach is very upset over in the corner. Manny just smiling. He's got a huge lead, of course, but let's see if Mosley tries to make something happen after that. But knowing Manny, he'll probably try to come right back now and turn that immediately around.
I would expect so. He was dominating the round. It was a trip, I'm sure. I really do not believe that was a knockdown.
Now Pacquiao says, come on, let's fight. Then.
There's a left hand that hurt Mosley. Still 20 seconds to go in this round. Two more left hands.
What it has done is awakened the sleeping giant.
Yeah, exactly.
Not that Manny was sleeping, but it's put him into a different mode here.
Yeah, he wants to get out of Dodge right now. Might not happen this round.
He's mad, Angry. He's mad, Manny.
Well, I really did not believe that was a knockdown. I hope we get a chance to look. I did not. That's exactly, I made that a 10-9 round for Mosley, even though Mosley didn't win a minute of the round. This is round 11. Well, it got the crowd off its seats.
And I just thought that made Manny Pacquiao angry, and he wanted to go out and punch, and
that's what he's doing.
And he's not going to feel sorry for Shane Mosley now.
Not now, even though it wasn't on Mosley.
I can remember Freddie Roach telling Manny before the 8th round against Oscar De La Hoya, Manny, don't feel sorry for him. It's your job to knock him out. And Manny Pacquiao is going out to do his job right now against Shane Mosley.
Combination again, a right and a left to the head. And there's another good right hand that pushes Mosley backward.
Stop.
That's that tough pat in the gloves that you talked about earlier. Like, come on, let's go. As There's a right hand again by Pacquiao, and another right hand. Caught Mosley in retreat.
You know, I'll tell you the truth, I can't really decipher a game plan by Shane Mosley tonight. I don't know if he came into the ring with a game plan in mind.
Unless that knockdown just changed everything. And another headbutt. Been about 6 or 7. Fortunately, no cuts.
You know, Shane is a tremendous body puncher, and he's just never really landed anything to the body. Very little to the head anyway.
Pacquiao's on a mission here.
See, it's Mosley, the guy that's getting turned. And we have seen Pacquiao at times turn opponents, Barry, and literally end up behind them.
Yeah.
And while he hasn't done that tonight to Mosley, when he gets him turned, he can do some real damage.
Well, he's such a craftsman. I think he'd like to end this in dramatic fashion.
Mosley at this point just trying to go the distance.
That's exactly, he's in complete survival mode. Pacquiao right on top of him.
Doctor in the ring taking a look at Shane Mosley between rounds.
Let's go.
Are they stopping it in the corner? Nope. 12th and final round, Barry.
Well, he's gotten this far, he may as well let him go.
But Freddie Roach told Manny Pacquiao, he knows how far Pacquiao's ahead. You heard what he said? Let's stop this guy. Get this guy out of there.
Pacquiao trying to do that, just stalking him. Hits him with the right hand. Pacquiao's just overwhelming Mosley. Mosley finally opens up. I don't think any of those landed flush.
You know, Pacquiao is he's just in unbelievable condition. He has benefited by the fact tonight, of course, that he has not been put through a war. He's doing all the throwing. But looking at him, had this been a tough, grueling, terribly enervating type fight, it looks to me like he would still be strong.
Yeah,
a strong 12-round fighter.
Have you ever seen him not be? Minute 20 seconds left in this fight. Absolute domination. There's a left hand.
I think Nassim Richardson knew they were getting into something that would be very difficult. Nassim said nobody fights like Pacquiao. We can duplicate his high energy in training, but all his moves are different. He's difficult to prepare for. And we've seen that happen. I think he thought, though, that Mosley could do some things to interrupt the Pacquiao assault, and that has not been the case.
No, and in fact, for the last, 7 rounds, he's been going backward. Good right hand by Pacquiao. Pacquiao trying to finish the job.
Mosley's legs are starting to give way again, Barry.
Yeah.
If Pacquiao really committed, it could be a very tough 30 seconds for Mosley to get through. But Mosley, incapable really of even launching a big final round desperation try.
No, it's all taken out of him, and it was perhaps with the 3rd round knockdown.
He actually looked shocked to me. Manny Pacquiao, virtuoso performance, Barry. We're seeing again one of the all-time greats. Pacquiao, an easy winner tonight, and Manny looks disappointed.
I think he
just walks away from Mosley, and he looks disappointed.
Maybe not completely ecstatic. Here is the knockdown in the 3rd round that probably sealed the deal for Manny Pacquiao. And you can see the stunned expression on the face of Mosley, and then the 10th round non-knockdown of Manny Pacquiao, and called the knockdown. Pacquiao said, no, really? And then he just kind of smiled, but it was not a knockdown. It was not a punch thrown. We saw on the replay, and of course, Kenny Bayless doesn't have benefit of a replay, and we do. That he stepped on Pacquiao's foot and then pushed him, and that's what caused the knockdown. So the two who have been great friends all along exchanged pleasantries at the end of it, but there was nothing pleasant about the 12 rounds as Manny Pacquiao completely dominated this fight to the point that, quite honestly, it wasn't a very exciting fight. He just took all the fight away from Mosley. I think Mosley realized after that knockdown there was nothing he was going to be able to do, and Pacquiao did what he had to do. He threw punches and combinations as he is wont to do. I would probably estimate he threw 5 times as many punches, maybe even more than that, as his opponent did. And it's a complete victory for him, although I don't think it's one he's going to want to put into a time capsule necessarily, but it takes 2 to make a fight. So now everybody will ask what's next for Manny Pacquiao. There is talk of a Marquez fight, and he'll worry about that when the time comes. But once again, he had a great training camp. He looked like he could go another 10 rounds probably. And Shane Mosley, at 39 years of age, we asked the question, was this the last hurrah? And you would have to think that perhaps it was just that. So a complete win for Manny Pacquiao, and he wins this championship, holds this championship at 147 pounds. And it's really hard to imagine that in his first fight, he fought at 105 pounds. So he has come that far. He won his first championship here. I had the pleasure of calling that fight right in this building. He won the featherweight championship in what was then considered to be a surprise, and that was probably the last surprise that Manny Pacquiao offered up. He is the complete fighter. He is. There's just no argument that he is, pound for pound, the best fighter around. And here is Jimmy Lennon Jr. to make it official.
Ladies and gentlemen, after 12 rounds of action, we have a unanimous decision. Here are the score totals. Judge at ringside, Glenn Trowbridge, scores the bout 119 to 108. Dave Moretti sees it 120 to 108. And Dwayne Ford scores the bout 120 to 107. All 3 in favor of the winner. And still the WBO welterweight champion of the world, Manny Pacquiao.
So a no doubt about it victory for Manny Pacquiao to retain his welterweight title. His wife Jinky never had an anxious moment in this fight, and smiles at her husband as while it was 12 rounds, I mean, that in itself is not an easy thing, but a very easy victory for him. And you can tell by the expression on his face, he always talks about how he wants to please the crowd, how that's what he's